best pitch, and he's been great this year, throwing changeups to both right-handers and left-handers.
Jacksonville will start it off with center fielder Will Gale, and we're underway here at Condren Ballpark. Home plate umpire Vic Carell tonight calling the balls and strikes. Jacksonville's yet to win a road game this year. And a starting 9 here for head coach Chris Hayes. Again, led off by the center fielder Gale. Will also feature here in the first the left fielder Blake Edwards and the second baseman Justin Nadeau. The 1-2 from Slater. Pop foul. Slater's been very good here in the early going, and again, all of it out of the bullpen. In his career versus Jacksonville, I mentioned the 2 wins. One of them was with the start. And he just misses here, and the count's even to 2-2. 6 strikeouts, no walks in his 2 appearances against the Dolphins.
And we saw Will Gale just 2 years ago as a member of the Seton Hall Club, and when he came in, he had one heck of a weekend. He was 5 for 12. He had a triple off of Brandon Sproat, and he did very well.
2-2. Just outside, and now full here to Gale, who has the 1 home run, 7 runs batted in this year. And a leadoff walk for Will Gale. Talk about battling back in the at-bat. Gale's aboard here after Slater got on in a hurry with a couple of strikes.
And this Jacksonville team's a team that's been decimated by injury. They got a lot of their better players not in the lineup today.
They're coming off of a good weekend, though. They had their season opener in conference play in the Atlantic Sun and took 2 of 3 from Stetson.
Well, Gale will run. There's
Yeah.
Chris Hayes, 8th year as a coach.
Good one on the outside corner. You mentioned the running. They do a lot of running. They've stolen 29 bases already through 19 games.
I mean, there's a time to throw over and a time not to. This is one of those times you need to throw over. As we mentioned, 7 for 8 in the stolen base department. Want to keep him close.
Florida's turned 7 double plays this year. That one's lifted into shallow right. And so just like that, 2 aboard here for the Dolphins on a walk and a base hit.
And we talk about avoiding striking out, and when you do that, good things will happen. Edmonds put the ball in play, found a home in right field.
So now Nadeau, and then you're likely to see their hottest hitter in Josh Steidl, the first baseman. Their cleanup hitter is coming off of a massive weekend. We'll get to him in just a moment. First Nadeau, though, who's driven in 12, and Slater starts him with a strike.
Yeah. Nadeau's one of those guys, good bat and ball skills, has pull power.
This also starts a string of 3 straight left-handed bats in Hayes' lineup against the right-hander Slater. Oh, 2. Needed that. That would have been a big pitch and put himself into a get out of the inning double play situation. Slater has allowed just 1 earned run in his 2 prior battles with Jacksonville. And he's fallen behind here, 3 balls and 1 strike.
They got to make a pitch here. Critical pitch early on in this ball game.
And he walked him. So a pair of walks, a single, and with nobody out, the bases are loaded.
Not the start Kevin O'Sullivan wanted from a guy that is primarily a strike thrower.
Was really going to go only with Slater for a couple of innings today just to get him some work before the weekend. And here is Josh Steidl, and he's the anchor of this lineup right now. He had 7 runs batted in the weekend series against Stetson. It also featured a home run and a double. And so the junior now with 23 runs batted in can do some damage here in the first.
He's a guy that's come up big in big spots.
2 balls and 1 strike.
And a veteran guy at Jacksonville. This is Steidl's 3rd year there.
Yep.
Again, Slater's got to make a pitch here. Hopefully something down.
Off speed, misses away. Now it's 3-1.
You got a groove one here.
Yep.
You know that Steidl's sitting there going, okay, fastball, I'm getting ready to turn on it.
And he lost the bat. It hits the net above the first base dugout and drops down, and the Gators scatter from the flying baseball bat.
Yeah, he turned on it. Helicoptered it to the netting.
I want to go get a little of the sticky stuff.
Well, he's getting right back up there. Okay.
There's a clock on this thing, you know. This is a massive 3-2 pitch coming up from Ryan Slater here in the first. Pitch clock stops at 10 and gets reset with the disengagement of the rubber. Swing and a miss, and there's a big strikeout against their best hitter right now. Steidl goes down on strikes for the first out here in the first inning.
How about that? They go off speed here. This is a slider. And just, he's looking fastball the whole way.
So now Aiden Masters, the third baseman.
Another good slider. Yeah, now you can get out of this thing in 1 pitch if you get something down.
That might get up the middle, and it does. And 2 runs are going to score here for the Dolphins. Gale and Edmonds both in to score. RBIs 2 and 3 on the year for Aiden Masters.
Got the ground ball, but wrong place, up the middle.
So the Gators will play from behind, and it seems to be something that's occurred more often than not. Luke Heyman is the catcher tonight for the Gators, and he just went out to reset that Florida defense with now runners at the corners with 1 out.
Yeah, also you got to go over your defensive in case they run here, runners at first and third, what Heyman's going to do with the throw.
First pitch to Delgado's outside. Masters has not attempted a stolen base this year. He's aboard at first. The lead runner is now Nadeau, who reached on a walk.
And I would think they just keep him right there, leave that pull side open.
Abby Delgado takes another one out of the zone, and Heyman wants time. So not a smooth start here for the veteran Ryan Slater, making his first start of the season. And at first I was like, well, maybe he's more comfortable with traffic on the bases. Well, I don't think Kevin O'Sullivan would agree with me on that. And after getting the strikeout of Steidl, like you said, you induced a ground ball. It just was right back up through the box, and 2 runs come in.
Yeah, he got the ground ball, but again, up the middle, you got to tip your cap to him. Delgado had powered all fields.
Runner going, throw by Heyman, got him at second base, and the runner at third stays still. 2 gone. Boy, Luke Heyman attacked the throw down to second base.
And that's a big out right there. He just went ahead and just, as you said, attacks it, and they needed that out. That could get Slater out of all kind of problems.
And on the very next pitch, he induces a fly ball. And Jalen Guy puts it away. 2 runs, though, season for the Gators, and when they score in the first inning, they have a record of 9-3. And now Cade Curlin to lead it off, and the hand is still bothering him. It's not back to 100%. And strike 1 to start him from Borkwood. Still with the shield on that left hand that was plunked very early in the season. The 0-1. Big long swing. And a hole here is Curlin.
And that's been the issue, the long swings, and that's where he's getting a lot of swing and miss on.
We talked about the guys that have that OPS above 1,000, and down on strikes is Curlin. He's not far behind him, but that's the thing. Higher than normal strikeouts now on the year for Curlin, and he goes down on strikes here for the 24th time.
Now watch his head and his shoulder on this swing. It's almost like he was just really trying to hit a 500-foot home run. His job's to get on early.
Now Jack Caglione. Speaking of 500-foot home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get the measurement the other night of the home run he hit? 455 is what they tried to estimate it at.
Yeah. Tell you what, Jack does a great job taking that change. Now there's a camera on the top of the batter's eye that Jack hit.
He broke it. Sharp ground ball to the shortstop. Hence, 2 gone. Yeah, that's a 40-foot tall batter's eye in center field. And he hit that camera, what was that, Friday against Texas A&M?
Yeah, on the second home run that he hit.
And they have to get a lift now. There's been a problem with getting a lift that can get up that high, and they've got to fix that camera that he broke. Now Colby Shelton with nobody on. A little looper in there for strike 1. Shelton and Luke Heyman, who's now on deck for the Gators, have a 19-game on-base streak working right now. And it doesn't matter how you do it. Hit by pitch, hit, extra base hit,
Hey.
walk.
Getting on's getting on.
Drop third strike, get to first. 19 straight. Here's the 1-2. And speaking of, he gets hit in the foot, and he's aboard. So make it 20 straight games on base for Colby Shelton.
It's him on the foot. Breaking ball right there. Can't hurt much. That drives coaches crazy. The 2-out freebies.
Yeah, you give a good one here, and Luke Heyman a chance to get the Gators right back on track here in the first, down 2-0, and Heyman has 6 home runs on the year. Takes it inside. Partner, you mentioned that the Dolphins are without some of their best players right now due to injury. Affects their defense as well. They've got 20 errors committed now through their 19 games. And a fielding percentage as a team at .970. And barely got to the plate, 1-1.
And Heyman, when he keeps his hands back, doesn't get out front, has been really driving the ball a lot better.
This with the breaking ball. Blake Borkwin trying to ride the momentum of the 2 runs plated in the top half of this inning. If you're just getting with us tonight, 2 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 walks for the Dolphins to get the early lead. This one's popped out of play. They split this series last year. The road team won each of the meetings. Florida leads the all-time series against Jacksonville 66-35. Florida's won 11 of the last 13 meetings. This is a long-running deal. Swing and a miss. Heyman's out on strikes, and we're through 1. The series started in 1963. The Gators down 2-0. Slater was scheduled to go about 2 innings tonight, and he probably threw 2 innings worth of pitches in the 1 inning. And so now Fisher Jameson, and he'll start here with 7, 8, and 9 in the Dolphins lineup. Chandler Howard, the sophomore designated hitter.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It was all planned out on a pitch count, and like you said, he probably ate them all up in that first inning, and Fisher was going to be the next guy in regardless.
1-1 from Jameson. Chopped right in front of the plate. Heyman picks it up smartly, gives himself a throwing lane, and out at first base is Howard. That was fair by, I think, about 6 inches.
And if you were with us over the weekend, the exact same thing happened to Jack Caglione.
Dead. Oh, it actually touched the batter in the batter's box.
Well, that'll make it a foul ball. That did not happen to Jack.
No.
It just spun in front of home plate on the one Jack hit because he gets so much spin on it with his 118-mile-an-hour exit speed.
Yes. So now I'll try a 1-2 pitch, and this one is in fair territory. And Landon Russell getting the start in left field today. Helps account for out number 1. There's Landon Russell. Junior college transfer gets the start today. Tyler Shelnut, who has been playing a lot of left field, is at third base for the Gators this evening. And with 1 away, there's a strike to Connor Spellman, the catcher. And Fisher Jameson is free and easy here early in this outing.
Yeah, he's really looked good, and you can see the numbers. Freshman, a guy they're going to be counting on down the road. Chris Hayes really likes this kid's future.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Jameson gives you that little herky-jerky in his motion, too, that you have to adjust for as a hitter.
See him going to the hand. It's a little cool here tonight. About 61 degrees at first pitch. So sleeves on for Jameson and keep that hand heated up. Clear skies. There was no wind during batting practice. There's a slight breeze now. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. 2 gone now in the top half of the second inning.
That's that slider he's been landing as of late, and that's why he's getting a lot more opportunities.
There's that herky-jerky we're talking about. It's got that whip action, doesn't it, partner, when you see it in slow motion like
Absolutely. It kind of lulls you to sleep, and then out of nowhere, here it comes.
9-hole hitter is the shortstop, Cade Hentz. Runs him in there at 91 miles an hour. Hentz is batting 189 coming into tonight's game. And he gets himself a base hit here with 2 outs. Still looking for that clean inning here. And it'll take us to the top of the order for Jacksonville, and Will Gale up for the second time already.
Yeah, the accomplished hitter in Gale, you didn't hope to not have to face him with runners on base.
Walked his first time up, came around to score on the base hit by Masters.
And mentioned that series against Seton Hall 2 years ago when he was here, he knocked in 5 runs in that series.
I wonder what the weather's like at Seton Hall's campus this very week in March. A little different than Jacksonville, Florida. So one thing that Jameson has done here since coming in for Slater is get out in front. He has thrown early strikes. No balls, 2 strikes. Some tells me Steve Egan, our statistician, is looking up the weather in Philadelphia. That one's back to the screen, and on a wild pitch, Hentz would advance to second base. Well, sure enough, it's 43 degrees. That's on the Jersey side of the river. Be very particular about South Orange.
That's right. It's going to be chilly in Jacksonville tonight.
Just got a piece of that one, and so did Heyman. And so therefore out on strikes is Will Gale. Ty Evans to lead it off for the Gators here in the bottom of the second inning. And he'll drive this out toward Gale in center, down for a hit. And Ty Evans continues to produce for the Gators. OPS of 1.023 coming into tonight. And it's great to have a leadoff runner here for Florida. Down 2-0.
Yeah, and Evans needs a good night tonight. Get a little momentum going into LSU.
Well, here's your guy, Tyler Shelnut, coming off that huge weekend against Texas A&M.
And the funny thing is that home run he hit to give him the lead, they weren't sure if it was a home run, so they played it out, and he got in a rundown. He ended up diving at second base and being called out. And I said, did you ever have that happen? He goes, no, but I was safe on that rundown, too, he said.
He was very particular about all that. I talked to him this morning, and he said, I had no idea. You know, all I knew was all of a sudden I see the left fielder scrambling as I'm coming towards second base, and I had to leg it out.
Yeah, he was trying to draw a throw because that was the lead run that he was trying to make sure that scored. You see his numbers between last year and this year, and he's, you know, he was a force last year, but boy, this year he's really come into his own.
Well, and you had to hope, again, with the Gators losing the players they did after last year's runner-up to the national championship, Shelnut and a few others are going to have to step up and and take some of those production pieces forward.
I mean, you lost the Wyatt Langford piece. You lost the Rivera piece when it comes to power.
Yes.
You know, so that you got to replace, you know, the 21 home runs Langford hit and the 19 that Rivera hit. Of course, you know, our boy BT had 19.
Shelnutt's down on strikes for out number 1.
And you know, replacing that, it's not easy. And here we go. Nice pitch right there. A little changeup got him out in front.
It's 3 strikeouts already, Nick, for Borquin. Borquin has faced Shelton and Evans, the only 2 to get him. And it was a hit by a pitch and then this single here, chasing Evans back to first. So here is Landon Russell getting the start tonight in left field. Trying to see if he can be, you know, a veteran contributor.
Yeah, out of Gulf Coast Community College. And those are the guys you bring in with a little bit more experience and hope you could plug those in sooner than later.
Hitting room on the right side, and he shoots this one foul and out of play over the rim of the stadium. Russell just carries himself like a guy that's, you know, he's got some ABs and got some games under his belt, and originally was going to go to Auburn coming out of high school, and then that situation changed. And, you know, it's an interesting thing with the COVID year and now the transfer portal, in that as he gets robbed here, a line drive stab by Hentz. But guys like Russell and others, you know, the JUCO route used to be a viable route in a lot of ways to get yourself in a position to go to Division I baseball.
Yeah, I was a product of that.
Right.
So, yeah.
And so now, though, you had the COVID year, so that extended the eligibility. So when you thought guys were going to leave the program, their eligibility would be up, many chose to stay. And so that closed down some of the openings for the JUCO guys. Yep. And then you roll in the new age of this transfer portal, and programs like Florida and others will fill holes, restock their rosters via the portal, like with Brody Donay here, as opposed to grabbing guys out of the JUCO ranks. So Landon Russell is kind of more the unicorn in all this, where a Brody Donay, a transfer from another Power 5,
right,
has become the norm.
And Shelna is a product of Santa Fe Community College, but he was a guy that was recruited out of high school by Florida, ended up going to Santa Fe. So there was a relationship there. They knew all about Shelna and what he could do. And then when he went to Santa Fe and played for Johnny Wiggs, it's okay, he's a 20 home run guy. That's a good fit here. So it's like you're saying, it makes it tougher now. And I talked to, you know, John McCormick down at FAU. They're coming in here, I guess, the end of April, and he says, yeah, it makes it tough for some of these high school kids to find a place, because, you know, you're going to get a guy that's tried and true on another D1, and it's easier for them to come over than a guy from a JUCO or a high school.
In the dirt, Evans on the move, and he will flop into second base here and is in scoring position for Brody Donay. And this is kind of a key thing for Brody Donay. This is getting the midweek at bats here as the designated hitter. We go back to what you said at the top of our broadcast, how important these midweek games really are, and sometimes they're overlooked.
You really do. As a hitter too, it's mental, because you want to have a good day. You don't want to have a bad day. And by having a bad day and then let a couple of days linger in your head that I took an 0 for 4.
Right.
You know, it's not like the minor leagues where you're playing every day. So from a momentum piece, you want to have a good day because you got another couple of days off before you start SEC play.
He's got those toes right on the chalk and really up over the inside edge, and that one comes underneath his hands.
Yeah,
and catches the knob.
And your boy Taken, for that reason, they're pounding him inside.
He's got a long swing just because he's physically so big.
Yeah, and it's always tougher to guys with these big, long arms. Let's see if they go slider here. Let's see if they can get him to chase it.
2-2 pitch. Now full. That almost got away. That was snow coned pretty much by Spellman, the catcher.
You saw the velo at 94. Probably just challenge him again here, but why not?
And he sells ball 4. And again, he's so in over the plate that even a pitch like that appeared to be on the inner half may look more inside of the umpire here.
They went changeup 3-2.
And
wow.
Yeah, just sold it, leaned over that plate even more. And so maybe it takes away the outside corner there for Barquin. And it's first and second now with 2 outs. And the 9-hole hitter, Jalen Guy, has a chance to get the Gators on the board. First pitch swinging. Masters will tag the runner, and that'll bring the bot. Blake Edwards, who singled his first time up, ready to face Fisher Jameson for the first time. And a strike to start things in the third. Gators here at home now, 9-5 this season. Of course, 2 of those 9 home wins came this past weekend to open SEC play against a previously undefeated Texas A&M squad. I was with basketball. You were here, Nick. We talked about Tyler Sheldon a little bit. Not a little bit, quite a bit, and deservedly so. And as that's going to sneak through for a base hit to start the third. What was some of the takeaways that you headed home with after the Sunday win?
Well, you look at the weekend. I remember Texas A&M comes in at number 4. They can swing the bat, you know. And some of the young guys out of the pen shine for me. Grayson Smith, I thought, did a really nice job. Robert Setton, I thought, did his best outing of the year against some tough hitters that he had to face. And, of course, the Luke McNeely thing on Sunday was brilliant. And a lot of people realize, too, McNeely had to shake off a pitch that he thought was strike 3. I did, too. Ended up getting the leadoff guy on, and he ended up pitching through that as well. But he was impressive.
Justin Nato walked his first time up.
Now, obviously, the obvious thing, you know, Brandon Neely, pitcher of the week, so he gave you the 3 on Friday night, 2 on Sunday. He was dominant when he was in there.
Kevin O'Sullivan thinks that Neely will be just fine here with some of the bicep tenderness that opened the door for McNeely to pitch in the 9th. And I got to say this, even today coming to the ballpark, Kevin O'Sullivan was still buzzing a little bit about what that could mean for McNeely moving forward.
Yeah.
Having the success that he did against their best hitters.
Yeah, I brought that up at the cage in BP, and a big smile went on his face when I mentioned it.
There's a strikeout for Jameson. It's his 3rd now since coming in to start the 2nd inning. And so 1 gone as Nato goes down on strikes.
This guy right here, Jameson, is really starting to come into his own. And again, there's the slide piece. Look at the bottom drop out of that pitch. That's a pitch that's going to get outs in the SEC as well. And it has been.
Starts Steidl here with the same thing. It hits the strike zone. Steidl struck out his first time up. That was against Ryan Slater, who just pitched the 1st inning tonight. And probably won his scheduled pitch count. They were looking for 2 innings. He probably threw 2 innings worth of pitches in the 1st. And then Fisher Jameson here now 1-1 to Steidl, who's coming off that massive weekend, their weekend series win over Stetson. Took 2 of 3 from the Hatters, and 7 runs batted in is a pretty good weekend for anybody.
Yeah, and this is a team that's banged up. Tyrell Brewer, broken hand. He's out going to be another 4 weeks. Clayton Hodges, knee injury at Fullerton a couple weeks ago. He's out. Blake DeLamielleure, you know, a groin hip injury. And then Nick DeLisi out as well.
Heyman keeps that one in front. And you were noting earlier, because we were talking about the Dolphins missing some of those key guys.
Yeah.
Jacksonville will be back here in almost a month to the day,
Just
April 18th.
4 weeks, yeah.
And you might see a completely different ball club
No question
when they roll
about
back
it.
in here.
Yeah, they're going to have 4 of their regulars back in the lineup if they all come back healthy.
2-2.
And
that is going to get fouled.
And one of the kids I mentioned right there, Blake DeLamielleure, whose father is in the Hall of Fame with the Buffalo Bills, tremendous offensive lineman. to me, that guy is dangerous, and he's hit Florida pitching too. So that's a big loss tonight, not having him in.
Modest lead at first by Edmonds. 2-2 again. So full count here now to Steidl with Aiden Masters on deck. Grayson Smith, you mentioned his performance over the weekend. He is warming in the Gators bullpen.
Yeah.
But that Johnny Holstaff look tonight for Florida.
Yeah, but you know, one thing, as good as you pitch, the more opportunities you're going to get. That's why you're seeing him up there tonight. And Fisher Jamerson's really come into his own, a guy that I think Sully feels he can count on. Let's see, but he's got to make a big pitch here.
Here's the payoff pitch. And that is a souvenir on the berm. Notice all the jackets tonight, hoodies and whatnot. Again, cool, and it's going to get down into the low 50s before we're done here at Condren Ballpark, they expect. Everybody's like, oh, I can't believe it's still this cold, you know, on a night here in March. I'm like, savor it. And a seeing eye ground ball into right. And they'll be at the corners here for Aiden Masters.
And again, Fisher Jamerson induces a ground ball and just finds a hole.
The Gators had to play pretty Gale and Edmonds to get us to where we are now, 2-0. Jamison starts him low for a ball. And we talked about the importance of these midweek games, and now not only midweek games, but it's the home games too. And you're wrapping up a 9-game homestand tonight, and you need a win to have a winning homestand here as we approach the halfway point of the season. Ground ball to third. This tough play for Shelnut. Long throw, gets the out, but in to score is Edmonds. And so Masters now has 3 RBIs in the ball game.
And again, Jameson induces fairly routine ground ball, just nicely placed, because you're playing double play depth, and that one was just too slow to turn.
So Satin here to face Abby Delgado, the right fielder. With a runner at second base and Josh Steidl, 2 gone. With a run in already on a pair of base hits. Out of the 60 pitches thrown by Gators pitching already tonight, 37 for strikes. And Heyman again keeping it in front of him once time here. And a new baseball for Satin. And Heyman barking back at Satin about getting this outing started correctly.
The one good thing you have in your favor here with 2 outs, you got the base open at first.
Shift is on to the right side here against Delgado. And now 3 balls and no strikes.
Let's see if Chris Hayes has him swinging here. I would think in this scenario, if you're going to beat Florida, you need to take some chances in a 3-0 count. Have your guy that has power go ahead and chase.
Takes ball 4. 4-pitch walk here to start things for Robert Satin. To Delgado, that was the only batter that Robert Satin faced. It's the designated hitter now, Chandler Howard, 0 for 1.
We talked about this over the weekend. It's kind of interesting in the modern era with a lot of shifts. You just don't see a lot of double plays anymore.
Yeah, these two teams have combined to turn 11 double plays, and that's through 38 games combined, just using these two.
It's like it's a different era when you see these shifts. It just makes it more difficult to do that.
See the shift there. For the left-handed bat, Howard flew out to left his first time up.
Well, let's go, for example, say he entices a ground ball, and Shelton's got to go to his right. I mean, Kate Curlin's all the way over in no man's land there. Pull, so it's going to take him forever to get over. And that's just the nature of baseball today when you're doing shifts. Now, obviously, in the big leagues, they don't let them shift anymore, but in college baseball, you're probably still going to see less and less double plays because of it. which is going to result into higher scoring games.
Bottom fell out of that one. Big strikeout for Grayson Smith. That puts out the problem here in the top of the third. They will shift for him to the right side. Parkwood misses way away, and then he checked his right hand. Good craftsman never blames his tools, Nick Belmonte. But he had the look to him that he had one slip away on him. Here's the 1-0 to Caglione.
And going back to what I was talking about last inning, and we got into that story, it was 2 outs, so obviously it wasn't a double play situation, but like right now it is, and you got a shift going, and it's just going to make it difficult if it hits it to the second base side of the base, and the shortstop now playing third.
That has a chance. Out, and goodbye. Home run, Jack Caglione on a big blast here in the bottom of the third. It's a 2-run home run for Caglione, his 8th of the year. How quick did that get out of this place?
What makes him so special, obviously the power, but it's the power to all fields. It's keeping his head and his shoulder on a pitch that was outer third. And, you know, one thing that you realize about Jack is, you know, launch angle for him, it's not overblown. He gets a lot of plate coverage with that power, which is at the next level. The scouts that watch this have to be impressed by.
So now a 1-run ball game. Takes one inside. Blake Barquin through the first 2 innings, just the one hit. It was a walk. He hit a batter and he struck out 3. And the Gators have started to figure him out here the second time through the lineup. And so Heyman's got his first hit of the ball game. And Heyman's on-base streak now has reached 20 games this year. I'm going to bring up Ty Evans, who did get the one hit off of Barquin when he went through the lineup for the first time.
You know, it's so important that Luke Heyman stays right where he is, stays hot at that 3-hole. But 3 and 4-hole, how they flip-flop him, he's got to stay hot in that area.
That's through the left side. And the Gators have 4 hits in the inning now.
Because what Sully's done tonight is something he hasn't done with the 2 lefties, Caglione and Shelton back-to-back. He split them up all year, putting Heyman, the righty, in the 3-hole. So we're seeing something new here that Sully's trying.
Well, Tyler Shelnut up to tie or take the lead here.
Oh, and by the way, no one's in the pen.
No. Line drive, base hit. It's going to score 1. Could 2 if this thing gets all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. Sure enough, it's a 2-run double for Tyler Shelnut. And the Gators have their first lead of the night at 4-3. Heyman, not the fleetest of foot, was the first across. But Ty Evans goes first to home on this ball shot into the gap off the bat of Shelnut.
Yeah, it's a changeup that starts working its way back in, and he just keeps his hands back on it. And it does find its way somehow all the way. It gets to the fence. Shelnut, stay hot, kid.
And a visit to the mound here for Jacksonville. And just moments ago, Nick commented nobody in the bullpen. Now there is some stirring down beyond the left field fence. Faulkner is up. And up for the Gators now is Landon Russell with another runner in scoring position here for the Gators. 5 hits in the inning, including the 2-run home run by Caglione.
And these balls are hit on the screws.
Yes. And Russell got robbed his first time out. He lined out to the shortstop. He got a good piece of the barrel on that pitch. 0 for 1 as a result. Still looking for his first hit as a Gator. Shelna with a big lead at second. That one's off the handle and maybe the hand. Ouch, 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 ouch. Yep, it caught one of those digits. He says, I'm all right, it looks like.
Yeah, he's going to have to fight through it. He knows it's a big opportunity for him, but now they're going to check him out.
Yeah, Jared Schweim, the Gators trainer, and Kevin O'Sullivan now out to check on Landon Russell.
And you know he wants to stay in this game, so you're going to hear a lot. I'm fine. I'm good.
You know, he's been one of those guys, Nick, and there's really like probably 5 guys fighting for maybe 2 spots that are available.
Yeah, there's a couple
so
spots that could rotate and waiting for someone to grab hold of that spot. And this could be one of them. So he knows that this is a big opportunity. It's a big game for him. He gave him a great at-bat against Texas A&M on Saturday night, and he flew out to the wall. We thought it was a home run off the bat, but that got him the start on Sunday.
Probably looking at a platoon situation right now in center field. Robertson and Guy. If Shelnutt's playing more third base, that leaves left field open. Runner going. Head first slide and a stolen base for Shelnut.
How about Shelley? Caught him napping.
Third stolen base of the year for Shelnut. So that's big because with 1 out now, that fly ball, just like you were talking about that Russell did over the weekend.
Absolutely.
Chance to drive in another run, and the Dolphins are going to pull their infield in.
Yeah, and that's what that stolen base does right here.
So a 1-2 count to Landon Russell. This is the 7th spot in the lineup.
And how about Sheldon tying for the team lead in stolen bases with Armando Albert with 3.
Gators have stolen 12 bases now collectively this season in 15 attempts. Well, less than 90 feet away with that lead. Here's the pitch. Foul tip caught by Spellman, and unfortunately Russell's down on strikes. 2 gone. That's strikeout number 4 on the night for Barquin. And we'll deal with Brody Donay now with that runner still at third base. Brody had a good at bat to draw that walk. Got to full count. And again, he was crowding that plate his first time up. Look at, he's backed away from the dish now a little bit. He chops this one foul. He had his toes, Nick, on the inside chalk of the batter's box. Paint, chalk. I'm showing my age, aren't I? Puts the right foot a little bit closer here, but he both feet, the tips of his cleats were right on the paint.
But you Chuck Geralman point out that, hey, they're pounding the inside.
That's, there you go. There's probably an adjustment from one at bat to another. There's Chuck Geralman.
Yeah, sure he recognized that.
Of course, he was an assistant coach at Jacksonville for a few years. Swinging bunt. Might stay fair. Spellman with a rocket to first base to get Donay. Wow, that's a really special play there defensively for Jackson. To the top of the 4th. And the Gators have a lead for the first time tonight. 4-3 as Grayson Smith now will have a chance to really settle in. He came in with 2 outs in the 3rd and struck out Howard. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 here, starting with Spellman, the catcher who made just a fantastic play on a real tough decision. Do I guess if this is going to roll foul or fair? And he aggressively picked it up and threw out Brody Donay to end the big Gators inning. Now a bender from Grayson Smith.
And in that play, it's interesting to note that Sheldon did not race home on that because he knew that that would have given the catcher an option to tag him going by.
Swing and a miss. Heyman will throw it down. Pair of strikeouts already for Grayson Smith. 1 gone here in the 4th.
Well, he's a hot Gator pitcher right now, that bullpen. Between the slider and the splitter, he has been outstanding his last 2 outings. And this is a big shutdown inning for him as well, with the Gators grabbing the lead.
Well, and we've talked about these freshman pitchers, Nick, you know, throughout the progression of their first season. A guy like Grayson Smith got his first taste of SEC baseball this past weekend. And now a big step comes this coming weekend on the road in the SEC And it's, by the way, at Baton Rouge against the, unfortunately, defending national champion LSU Tigers.
And the last time he played against a big on-the-road competition at Miami, he had a clean inning with 2 strikeouts.
Be a tough play here for Evans. He'll cut it off and keep this to being just a 1-out single for Cade Hentz, the shortstop.
Yeah, they're high on Cade Hentz. Through injuries, Cade Hentz has gotten a chance to play. The youngster's doing a nice job, and Chris Hayes says, boy, you know, this is one of the positives of the injury. We get to play Cade Hentz. This kid can really defend. And he said, we really like him defensively. He's a leader now, showing a little offense, but a couple of hits tonight.
Yeah, this one to the opposite way.
Yeah, nice little inside-out swing.
Top of the order, and Will Gale shows us bunt real quick.
Yeah, you go from the youngster to the veteran right here in Will Gale.
Gale walked back in the first, came around to score. He struck out to end the second. That one came out of the hand in a bad way for Grayson Smith, and he'll go to the rosin bag behind the mound while we take a look at Gale's numbers. Smith looking for the double play ball, obviously, as that one misses down and away. And now, after striking out 2 of the first 3 he faced, he's 3-0 here to the top of the order in Will Gale.
And I do want to, finish my thought in the double play scenario. The Gators were 27 on the season last year. We mentioned 6 this year,
yep.
and this is college baseball. I mean, it's not just the Gators. The year they won in 2017, Gators had 60 double plays, 6 zeros. That shows you the difference in the eras.
Just your point is so well taken about the shift and the way it changes the whole dynamic.
No one played just this dramatic in 2017.
Well, the middle infielders here are at double play depth, and in a more traditional sense with Shelton there at short and Curlin, a step or 2 closer to the bag and more of a pinch here looking for that double play ball. And Caggs is playing behind the runner at first, well off the line, even with a left-handed bat up in Blake Edwards. Edmonds has got himself already a pair of base hits and 2 runs scored. And that's no fluke when you're hitting 350 like he is. Yeah. And so Luke Heyman's got to come out here and get Grayson Smith right after throwing 6 straight out of the strike zone.
To the tune of Booker T and the MGs, Green Onions. And I don't know why that song has become the song you play when coaches go to the mound. I don't know. Why is that the universal song? I first started hearing it at the University of Georgia. Dave Perno would go out there and they'd always play it. And I'd say before the weekend, if you're going to go play Georgia, you want to hear that song a lot because that meant their pitchers were in trouble.
Yes. When I was in college at Southern Illinois University. Salukis. I'm going to tell a story here that I've been told in a long time. Coach Warren was at Indiana State. And there was a strong resemblance to Don Knotts.
Okay.
And so my job, when I was not getting the chance to broadcast the game, I was the public address announcer and I did the music. And I had 1 or 2 little cassette decks. Remember cassettes, of course.
Absolutely.
And I would rifle, speaking of rifle, right into the hip here of Edmonds. And Edmonds is aboard for the 3rd time. So a single, a walk, and now a hit batter. And sure enough, bases loaded for the Dolphins. Grayson Smith stays in. Frank Menendez is now up and throwing in the Gators bullpen, though.
Yeah, you want to set this up, get ahead in the count where you can throw that splitter.
Well, the other thing here, and again, for a young pitcher, Nick, your team, your Florida team, just took the lead in the bottom half of the 3rd, and you're coming out there and you're trying to hang on to that momentum. Sure.
Yeah.
A little bounce foul here, and a 1-2 count to Justin Nadeau.
And this is where you throw that good splitter, entice that ground ball, and you get the 7th double play of the season. Get out of this inning.
You saw on your screen there that Luke McNeely is up and throwing as well. Double barrel action in the bullpen. Ground ball's going to roll foul here. Caglione will backhand it, and we'll get a new baseball out there for Grayson Smith. All those runners on the move, obviously. Nadeau has driven in 12 this year. He struck out his last time up. The pitch. Too tall. And you've got Steidl waiting on deck.
Nadeau's a guy with good bat-to-ball skills. Not a big strikeout guy.
Multiple runs, probably. Whoop. Stop sign at third base. Well, that's a laser thrown in by Ty Evans to keep this a one-run situation as Hentz comes in to score. And the ball game is tied at 4. RBI number 13 for Nadeau. So Will Gale now at third, and Blake Edmonds advances to second.
He's had good bat-to-ball skills. This is the splitter, but it's up, and he makes him pay.
So now a real tough one in Josh Steidl. Up and in. Steidl drove in 7 this past weekend. And you see the 6 home runs. One for 2 tonight, and he loses the bat for a second time. I've seen that before, but not twice to the same hitter in a ball game. And this time he will pine tar it up a little bit.
Another helicopter, and thank goodness they've added that screen in baseball in most stadiums around the country.
Do you remember when all the major league teams, well, not all of them,
they didn't,
a bunch of them, like just, I mean, like
you
were dragging them to the gallows.
Yeah.
Big pitch. Big pitch for Grayson Smith. Oh, it'll interfere with this, and it takes away from those folks that get those first 4 runs. Well, it also may save a life. Sharp one to Caglione. He'll take it himself. Tags the bag, but the Dolphins take the lead as Gale comes in to score from third base.
Yeah, the way that the shift was going there, double play was probably not going to be something that you could even start. It would have taken too long. So Cags did the only thing he could do. Just see how they're set up. There's really nobody set up for a double play. So Cags said, okay, I'm just going to get it myself, take it to first, get the out, and retire the good hitter.
Serves at second and third. Here's Aiden Masters. First pitch is high for a ball. Didn't he have a 3-2 count on Lavalette in that 9th inning on Sunday?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, he did.
Spotted a slider as a big pitch. 1-0. And their first strike.
And let's see how this carries over today. I mean, look, he's thrown right back into the fire. His team is behind by a run, second and third. Big out to get.
Masters just backed out of the batter's box. That's usually an invitation for an umpire to call just about anything a strike. So 2 outs. A 1-2. Inning over. Not before 2 more runs, though, get across for the Dolphins. Well, it didn't take us long to get started here in the bottom of the 4th. 1 pitch and a hit by pitch. Jalen Guy, the 9-hole hitter for the Gators, is aboard. Hit by a pitch here, the 3rd Gator, beg your pardon, 2nd Gator to be hit by a pitch tonight from starter Blake Barquin. Here's how it came in on him.
Tried to lay one down and got him in the back of the thigh.
So Guy with good speed is aboard. Top of the order now for the Gators, down by a run. And first pitch swinging is Cade Kurland, who's 1 for 2 tonight. He struck out his first time up. Head, shoulders, neck, everything out of place on that first at bat. But then promptly came in and ripped a single in the 3rd inning and came around to score on Caglione's 8th home run of the year. Jalen Guy will draw a throw. Talked to this platoon situation starting to develop in center field, and Jalen Guy is in that mix. Veteran takes the lead from first. New here, of course, to Florida. in on Curlin, and that's got to make the hair on his arm stand up a little bit, especially having gotten hit on the hand earlier this season.
He's got to really shorten up here with 2 strikes. Just put it in play.
Yeah.
Going to make it out, make it productive.
Marquand's running in on that inside corner to a number of the right-handed hitters. Donay notably, and now Curlin with that, and he's in on the hands again. And that one is blown dead right away by the second base umpire, Marcial Santos.
Yeah, double play depth. So you got a big hole on the right side. And if they are going to shoot you inside with those pitches, just try to inside out it to that big hole on the right side.
Cage batting .304 with runners on. And Guy will draw another throw over. That approach right now, Nick, to reference what you were talking about, what the Dolphins are looking for and whatnot, the situational piece of this. How much more difficult is it with the 0-2 count in this situation? How much does that magnify what you were talking about?
As a hitter, I mean, I'm just playing defensive here, try to slap it to the right side.
Pop it up to the right side, get foul. It is going to be 8 rows beyond the reach of a first baseman named Steidel.
And they seem to still pound Curlin inside with these pitches. That's what I'm saying. You may want to just try to inside out something to that right side. Doesn't have to be pretty. You get an 87 hopper through that right side. Still counts as a hit.
Room to do it. Takes here. 1 and 2. Cade really changed, worked on his body in the offseason after that All-American freshman season. Still not quite right with that injured hand. There goes Guy. The throw is too late, and Jalen Guy's got his first stolen base as a Gator.
Good pitch to go on, too. Low in the dirt, tough for the catcher to throw.
I didn't think this was a bad pitch either, partner.
Yeah, a pretty good jump, too. He made the best out of it throwing-wise, but really good jump by him over there.
You're right about it, putting the catcher in kind of a bad spot. And again, Curlin shaking his head there as they come in close to that hand again.
Boy, if Cade can work himself on base here with meat of the order coming up, that'd be huge.
Especially when you think about he was down 0-2 in this count.
And I'm assuming this might be his last hitter. Talking about Barquin.
Fought off and shot out of play.
He's fighting off those high inside pitches. He's getting a dose of that.
For me, the temptation would be to back away from the plate a little bit, but then you leave yourself vulnerable on the outer half. Man, hard to hold your ground here, isn't it? Try the 3-2 again. Good eye.
Good at bat.
Boy, you're not kidding, Nick.
Fought off a lot of nasty 2-strike pitches to get that walk, and now you're set up at the meat of the order.
Talk about me. Jack Caglione is coming in to view now the home plate area, and he'll probably have to step away from the plate here as it looks like they may be set to make a pitching change.
Yeah, I would think they have a lefty up there.
Yeah, here comes Chris Hayes. Jacksonville native, alum of Jacksonville University. Here in his 8th year now as head coach.
Yeah, he was a good hitter in his playing days.
Drove in a pair of runs in a 4-run 3rd inning for the Gators. And now 2 aboard with nobody out. One after one up near his chin high, and probably looked as big as a beach ball coming at him here from Dylan Faulkner.
And he was sitting breaking ball too, and he got it. He just missed that.
Hanks has been ready for this pitch now from the moment the last one just snipped his bat. Guy's the lead runner at second. A rocket ground ball somehow bottled up and contained by Nato there. Both runners advance, one gone.
Yeah, nice productive out. If you're going to make it out, move 2 runners along like Cax just did. Set it up for 3 and 4 in the order.
Yeah, not a bad duo coming up too, starting with Colby Shelton
And this is the thing that Kevin O'Sullivan probably has held off on this year, not bunching Kaggs and Shelton together, because you can bring in a left-handed pitcher and you go left to left to both guys. Because the way he's had it this year, he's had Kaggs, then Heyman, then Shelton. So you'd be facing a righty here, but he decided to move Shelton up just to get him more at bats.
Sitting on 10 home runs. Takes off speed here. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And it'd be interesting to see what Sully does this weekend in Baton Rouge with that batting order. But I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to get his best 2 hitters up there more times than not.
Heyman waits on deck. 1-1. Away from Shelton, who ran his on-base streak to 20 games earlier tonight. He was hit by a pitch back in the first. Left on base. Gators have left 4 on base already. Boy, talk about having to be patient.
And great thing about Kobe Shelton, he does a great job against lefties, keeping his shoulder and keeping his head on the ball. So his splits are probably pretty good on that.
Speaking of things that are split, home runs versus right-handed and left-handed pitchers this year. Coming into tonight, Gators had the same number of home runs against left-handed pitching they did against right-handed. Now, obviously, that's one more against the right-hander with Caglianone's home run off Barklin earlier. 3-2. Stays alive. We're talking about that series at LSU. It starts on Friday night, 8 Eastern time on SEC Network Plus. Strike 3 called. Shelton disagrees as he walks back to the first base dugout. And Faulkner's come in to get 2 outs. This one here is what was thought to be ball 4 by Shelton. And he's probably got an argument.
Did a nice job framing it.
So now Heyman, who's 1 for 2. Again, runners at second and third. And the corners are in play now. Senior deals. Popped him up. It's way up, but very playable here for Gale. They'll put it away, and the Gators failed Shelton Heyman. And you couldn't get a run across. So Luke McNeely goes back to work. He came in the 4th, struck out Aiden Masters, and he begins here against Abby Delgado. 1 ball, no strikes. That had a little giddy up on it. Luke McNeely from Milton, Georgia, of Irish descent. So when I had my first real conversation with Luke, he says, by the way, my birthday is on St. Patrick's Day. I said, wow, how cool is that?
Wow.
He goes, the story gets even better. I said, okay. After the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called right at the knees. Back-to-back strikeouts for Luke McNeely. Does he look like he did on Sunday?
Absolutely. Got his first save of the year and of his career on St. Patrick's Day and his birthday. My goodness.
So, of Irish descent, birthday on St. Patrick's Day. And when he was in high school, he worked at an Irish pub and restaurant. And he starts off Howard here with a strike. I want to double check what I wrote down. Oh, yes, the Old Blind Dog.
The Old Blind Dog.
Worked as a host and bust some tables. 1. Luke McNeely, when he arrived on campus through the fall workouts and scrimmages, and even kind of running up to the start of the season here after the holiday break, I won't say he was unhittable, but all reports coming were that
he didn't give up 1 run.
1 run, right. 1-2. Another one at the knees. 3 strikeouts for Luke McNeely. So both Delgado and Howard go down looking here against McNeely. This is just picture perfect.
And that's a nice job stealing a call by Heyman.
Here's Spellman, the catcher, and he went, says the home plate umpire, Vic Carell. 8th spot in the lineup. Spellman in danger of wearing the old collar here. He's struck out twice. They play him straight away.
And I love on the bio for hobbies for Luke McNeely, hanging with friends and watching sports. There you go.
There you go. What's not to like?
That's a hobby.
If that's a hobby, I turned my hobby into a profession. And now he's getting all the low strikes he wants.
And look, you're doing both today.
See? It's fun doing a hobby with you, Nick. 1-2 pitch is outside. Luke was on the stroll there toward the...
Yeah, and that's something that he's going to learn as he gets a little older, not to do that to the umpire.
Right back up on the rubber. 2-2. Strikes out the side. It's 4 strikeouts and down by a run here. Ty Evans, will see if the Gators can't retake the lead. Had it at 4-3. And Evans has been a part of the fun tonight with a pair of singles and a run scored. Evans, Shelnut, Landon Russell scheduled. We've gone from a right-handed pitcher to now the left-hander Dylan Faulkner, so we may see Kevin O'Sullivan get some guys with some other opportunities, but that's at least who's scheduled here in the 5th. A little backdoor in there, a pitch that Evans wasn't so sure about.
Pretty impressive, Faulkner getting out of that, getting first and second, nobody out, and going through the meat of the order.
That one is golfed past Taylor Black in the third base coach's box as usual tonight. He was all set to go out to that third base coach's box tonight just in the short sleeves. I said, I think you might want to think that again, Taylor. It's going to be in the 50s later on tonight.
Gets overlooked. He's a really good third base coach.
I agree.
Sending runners and holding them up and knowing when to do it.
It was a key moment. I think you and I worked together last. I want to say it was the Sunday game against St. Mary's, and there was a real crucial situation there. Gales go on to 10-run, the Gales in that, but you noted on that particular day just a very, very wise read of the situation.
He had at least 3 of those last weekend as well.
Evans will draw a walk to start things in the Gator 5th.
Let's see how Chris Hayes plays this now. We mentioned Faulkner had not pitched since the Fullerton weekend 2 weekends ago on the 9th of March. Did a great job last inning. Let's see how long they let him go. There's some stirring around in the bullpen.
Here's Shelnut. He doubled. He'll lift this one well foul and past the palm trees. Down the left field side, that 2-run double was a part of the 4-run third inning for the Gators. Modest lead at first, and still yet a throw over by Faulkner.
Tell you what, Faulkner better worry about Shelnut. He's a hot hitter right now.
And Evans is yet to attempt a stolen base this season.
Yeah, and Ty's not getting a good jump over there. So if you're a pitcher, you know, somebody's got to relay that to you. And the fact that Shelnut, one of the hotter hitters in all the land, you better have your concentration on him. Kind of you'll see him hit. He looks like he goes back to first. Yeah, he leans.
Good block by Spellman.
And
the dish.
That was a great shot of seeing him lean like that over at first base. And, you know, a pitcher has to recognize that and say, okay, I'm not going to waste a throw over there. If he goes, he goes. He's probably not going to get a good jump.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Tyler Shelnut. Strike 3 called. Down on strikes for the second time tonight is Shelnut. This one looking. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, he diverted his attention back to the hitter, and he makes a darn good pitch right here. A little backdoor slider.
Yeah.
That was nasty.
So Landon Russell steps in now, 0 for 2. Lined out and has struck out. All against Barquin, the starting pitcher. And that one's thumbed in there for strike 1.
Yeah, a little get me over breaking ball, and right now, Faulkner looks real good.
Again, Ty Evans with the leadoff walk and down by a run. Right at the position second baseman. Flipped the short for 1, over to first, and a double play ball. The 5th. And what a night so far for the Dolphins shortstop. He is 2 for 2 with a run scored, and he has helped the Dolphins to this 5-4 lead as we are through 5. Well, Luke McNeely in relief has been dynamite. He has matched his career high with 4 strikeouts in this outing. He has struck out every batter he's faced since coming into the 4th. Tried to paint one there at 94. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now 2-2. Don't you just feel the way he's pitching right now, Nick, that the strikeout is in the offing?
Yeah, he's a ball of confidence right here.
Tried to nibble the edge there. Reaction from my partner tells it all.
It's a hitter. You're holding your breath. Please don't ring me up.
I missed there, and that's the first man to reach on Luke McNeely. A leadoff walk here in the 6th inning.
And how about Cade Hentz?
Yeah.
I mean, what a night for him. Been on base 3 times, 2 via base hit, now the walk.
Well, you go back to what you were talking about the last time he was up, and that their injury situation has opened a door for him.
Yeah, a freshman out of Trinity Catholic.
He's trying to blow the doors off the thing. Laid down bunt here by the leadoff hitter, Heyman. Bounces it to first, and safe is Will Gale. Center fielder's got wheels, and now 2 aboard.
Yeah, and that was a straight sack, and they're going to take a look at it. Now, the question is, did Kaggs pull his foot, or did he actually beat it out?
In real time, it looked, bang, bang type play. Tell you what, Caglione did a good job of handling the one hopper from the catcher.
We've talked about Kaggs' defense. It's been superior. I mean, the great plays I've seen Jack Caglione do this year have been just telling me this guy is as complete a player as there is on the planet right now. He's made so many great plays, laying out defensively, left, right, chasing down foul balls. I mean, he just saves his team so much defensively. It gets overlooked because he's so great at other things, but it's hitting and his pitching.
All right, we'll get our first look at what the umpires are taking a look at now as the play is under review.
Kaggs had his foot on, so they're not looking at that. They're saying, did he flat out beat it or not? Let's see. That looked like he was out. It looked like, but here's the problem. You don't officially see right there. It's in his glove.
Yes.
And the foot's not on the base. There's your money shot, I think, right there. Because it looks like it's in his glove. I don't know if we have the other angle on that, but it's in his glove.
I agree.
From what I see before the foot hits down, I wouldn't be surprised they overturned this. Now, the study from last year, only 22% of replay calls were overturned. So, major majority of that, over 3/4 stayed either confirmed or not turned.
Interesting stat.
Yeah.
The bunt itself was well placed.
Yeah, let's see how things fall. Yeah, there it is.
Overturned.
Yeah, that was a great shot that we had on that because it hit his glove as the foot was up there. So goes down as a sacrifice bunt.
Again, that's a dynamite play by Caglione to take the short hop there. Backhand. Remember, he's a left-handed first baseman, so he's backhanding that one hop throw from Luke Heyman. And with one out, a runner at second, here's Blake Edmonds. Has reached in all three of his trips to the plate. Pair of singles. He was hit by a pitch in the fourth, but stranded.
And by the way, yeah, Heyman did a nice job getting it to him. That was a nice placement on a fast runner.
So McNeely with one out has allowed just the one base runner that walked to Cade Hentz. Nadeau waits on deck. Here's the pitch. I'm trying to think of a pitch that he's left over the heart of the plate. I don't think I've seen one.
Yeah, and that was his problem on the nights he was starting.
And he plunked him there. That ball had a lot of run on it. And Edmonds is aboard for the second time hit by a pitch.
Yeah, try to get a slider in on the back foot, and it just nips him. So you got things spinning, trying to get the back foot, gets him right on the knee.
So infield fly rule in effect here with one out, runners at first and second. Justin Nadeau comes to the plate. Nadeau picked up his 13th RBI of the year in the two-run fourth inning.
Yeah, and then we talked about Nadeau, a guy with good bat-to-ball skills, puts it in play. Just under 400 on the year.
Yeah, I was going to say, just flirting with that big number. And one dug out by Heyman.
And when you're going good, you take those pitches. When you're going bad, you're chasing them. And Nadeau's going good right now, so he's seeing the ball.
No action in the Gators bullpen. Infield looks for the double play ball. Swing and a miss. 2-1 now to Nadeau. Steidl looming on deck. The next from McNeely. Strike on the outside edge.
That's a great 2-1 pitch.
Yep.
Outer third, just catching the black on the plate. Let's see if they try to bury a breaking ball, get on the chase.
2-2. Stays alive.
Yeah, tried the slider, left it up a little bit, got away with one. But I get what they were trying to do there. Again, try to get something down where you hit in the ground and get that double play.
Got a battle working now between McNeely and Nadeau.
And this is one of these things where Kevin O'Sullivan, David Kopp are over there in the dugout. They're saying, okay, great situation right here. This is like an SEC scenario right here. Let's see how the young man handles it.
Trying to keep it a one-run game. And misses here, runs it full.
Because you got an accomplished collegiate hitter up there, and you're trying to battle out of a jam.
Hentz leading from second. Edmonds from first. As McNeely set for the payoff pitch to Nadeau. Got him. Career high 5 strikeouts in this appearance for Luke McNeely. 2 gone here in the top of the 6th inning.
And that pitch really fooled Nadeau. I don't know where he thought it was, but this is a pitch with 2 strikes and men on base. That ball's tailing back. We talked about some of the pitches were straight, that when he started, he was getting hit. That ball had some run on it.
Yes,
That's what really fooled Nadeau.
Plant that, K. And now Josh Steidl. Strike on the outside edge. Check swing there by Steidl has him shaking his head. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Picked up the RBI in the 2-run fourth. And Steidl's in a hole now, 0-2. And so now this Gator crowd will get behind Luke McNeely. Trying to keep it at 5-4. The Gators will send up 8, 9, and 1 in their half of the 6th inning. The 0-2 pitch.
It's a good spot for an 0-2 pitch. Can't get hurt there. And he's facing a hot hitter, so can't give in to him.
39 pitches now for McNeely, 24 for strikes. Shift to the right side, down and in.
Kevin O'Sullivan love to have him make that pitch right here. Doesn't want to run this 3-2, get the runners started.
From the belt, McNeely. Still alive is Steidl.
This is all part of that maturation process of Luke McNeely.
Doing it against their 3-4 hitters. He kind of says this mimics an SEC leverage situation.
Absolutely. Right here.
Took something off of that one. Into the bottom of the 6th, it's Brody Donay, the designated hitter, already in an 0-2 hole. Our home plate umpire tonight, Vic Carell, is a bit in a hurry here tonight. We are quickly going through the changeover, and Donay gets beat by a breaking ball here. One gone already. Dylan Faulkner has kind of been keeping the Gators off balance, Nick Belmonte.
Yeah, this is a nice pitch, and that backdoor slider he's thrown has been very effective tonight.
3 strikeouts now for Dylan Faulkner. And Jalen Guy's going to try and slow him up a little bit.
And you could see Faulkner getting ready to start his windup, waiting for Jalen to get in.
Hit by a pitch by the starter Barkwin his last time up. That was the first pitch of the 4th inning. And that was the inning the Gators had a big threat working. He gets aboard, and then is followed by Curlin, who walked. Nobody out. The big boys coming up, and the Gators could not play to run when Faulkner came in. Faulkner came in that situation. Got Caglione to roll a ground ball to second. That did move both the runners into scoring position. But then he struck out Colby Shelton and got Luke Heyman to fly out to center to end the Gator 4th. He carves a first strike here to Guy to make it 3-1. And a 1-out walk here for Guy will take us back to the top of the order for Cade Curlin. And Curlin will be the only Gator that has not faced Faulkner yet. Cade struck out his first time up. Very solid base hit in the 3rd. Came around to score on the Caglione home run. And then, as I just mentioned, he walked in his most recent plate appearance.
And that was a great at-bat. He was down 0-2.
Jalen Guy draws a throw. He stole his first base as a Gator in that 4th inning.
And I'm thinking that Chris Hayes wants to keep Faulkner in there as long as he can, but the 2 lefties coming up.
First base umpire Damian Beal's got an eye on that front foot. The next from Curlin. Cade with runners on base, batting .304 coming into this at bat. Two doubles on the year. That lollipop stays way away.
Yeah, and if you're the Gators now, you don't want to win a 2-0 count after you just walk a guy. Probably don't want to push the issue with Jalen Guy over there, especially with Kaggs and Shelton lurking.
Great point. Double play depth up the middle, and that one led her high to make the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cates hit in the third, extended his hitting streak to 9 games tonight. Hitter second baseman here, ready for the 2-1 delivery. Nope, send the throw over to first again.
Yeah, Chris Hayes had him throw over there with the 2-1 count just to keep him honest.
Valle continues to be ready in the Jacksonville bullpen. A good eye by Curlin here. He's in charge now. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, and if you're ever going to send Guy in this scenario, 3-1 would be the pitch to do it. The only thing is sometimes Curlin's susceptible to swing and miss. And you definitely want Kaggs up there with men on base.
See what he does with the 3-1. He takes it for ball 4. And so you've got the scenario here that you were hoping for. Again, traffic in front of the biggest bats. As Guy advances to second and Jack Caglione coming to the plate. We noted his home run in the 3rd inning. Interesting note today about Caglione's last 82 at bats. 11 walks, 9 strikeouts in those 82 at bats. We always talk about his power, right?
Yeah.
Talk about his maturity as a hitter, is the ability maybe to know when to hit and not to swing, or vice versa.
Yep.
To have more walks and strikeouts in that 82 at bat stretch.
Yeah, that's the maturation process. He knows that they're going to be going away from him, off speed a lot, and for him to spit on those pitches where he ordinarily a year ago would be chasing is part of the process that he's handling very nicely.
So 2 on, 1 out. Faulkner, after a visit to the mound, gets Caglione to pop this one up into shallow center field. Hence the shortstop calls for it and has out number 2. So first pitch swinging, Caglione back to the dugout. It'll be up to Colby Shelton with 2 outs. Here with the Gators still trailing by a run.
Yeah, Kaggs been really aggressive tonight. He's swinging at first pitches. But hats off to Faulkner. Has done a nice job against the lefties.
Again, his numbers coming in. Faulkner, that is.
Not impressive.
Not good.
And I talked about Shelton against lefties, and I said, he's a guy that one of the reasons why Sully moved him up probably to the 3 spot, because he handles lefties. In fact, he's hitting better against lefties than righties. 345 versus 341 coming in.
It's an interesting split. Next to Colby. Out of play. Shelton, though, with runners in scoring position, is only batting .227. And yet he's got 22 runs batted in. 10 home runs helps that number, obviously.
We always talk about RBIs win you games, 2-out RBIs win you championships, and that's where Colby shines. A 393 hitter with 2 outs. Coaches love those guys that get those 2-out knocks.
Play him to pull a little bit here with Steidl near the line at first and Delgado same in the right field area. There's a look.
And with Heyman on deck, if he reaches, do they make the move? I think perhaps they do.
Yeah, Valle's ready in their bullpen. 3-1 to Shelton. Popped him up. This is going to be playable in foul territory, and Masters is there to make the catch. So 1 batter. And so Philpott will start here with Aiden Masters, 5, 6, and 7 in the Dolphins lineup. 6 strikeouts for McNeely. Did not allow a hit. Dolphins haven't had a hit since the 4th, and that's when they took the lead 5-4.
See, McNeely leaves the game, and the confidence builds in that young man, and you can see he deserves his accolades from his buddies because that's 2 big outings in a row.
Good swing and miss pitch right there. Heyman will finish it off with a throw down to first, and that's 3 straight strikeouts now for the bullpen, dating back to Nato and Steidl in the 6th.
A nice right-on-right changeup. The bottom drops out of that one.
So that'll bring up Abby Delgado. He was one of those 6 McNeely strikeout victims. And he gets a first pitch strike run at him.
Well, he's got all 3 pitches working right now.
Yep. He's working with some pace, too. Abdriel Delgado goes by Abby. Right fielder for the Dolphins. 0 for 2 today. Make it 0 for 3.
All 3 pitches. The slider, the change, and now the fastball. Frozen. He went off speed, and then right here, 2-seamer.
And here with McNeely and now Philpott, the way they're looking tonight, you realize all the hype around this freshman pitching class for the Florida Gators. And they've had their highlights and their lowlights, there's no doubt. But I think of a lot of us around the program, Nick, thought that relying so much on these freshman pitchers, it might not be until about now, 3rd week, maybe even the 4th week of March, that you'd really start to get the effect that you were looking for. Because it's a process.
And talking to David Kopp about that, he says, you see David there on the left, he said they're learning about how this all goes and what works now. When you're playing every day, you're not in high school and you're playing twice a week, and you got to see what works for you nutrition-wise, weight-wise, sleep-wise. What's your routine that's going to make? What did you do that made you successful? What was your off-field routine?
Into center, and Jalen Guy is there. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Gators catcher Luke Heyman to start things in the bottom of the 7th inning. Gators have had their opportunities, that's for sure. Just the one big inning, the 4-run 3rd inning. And no hits since. Of course, tip of the cap to Dylan Faulkner in his outing. Valle is the 3rd Jacksonville pitcher tonight. Little fisted humpback job to the second baseman, and Nato, easy play for him.
Yeah, that's that sinker that's going to bore in on those guys from the right side and just ate them up.
Well, Ty Evans will step in now with 1 out. Ty's been on every time. He's 2 for 2 plus a walk. He's got his batting average up to 365 now with a pair of hits today. 4 home runs. That one's yanked foul down the left side. We talk about the opportunities. Gators are 1 for 9 in the ball game with runners in scoring position tonight. And that's come with arguably their best bats in the situation. Long wait for the 2-1 and right into the backside of Ty Evans. Several Gators have worn it tonight. 1 out base runner though here in the bottom of the 7th, and that'll bring up Tyler Shelnutt.
Not only get him in the wallet, get him on the oven mitt in the wallet.
Yeah, if you're gonna get hit.
Well, missed the
Missed
oven
the oven
mitt. Got
mitt.
the other wallet.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Padded nonetheless.
Gators are probably just happy to see a right-hander up there as they went 0 for 8 against the left-hander Faulkner.
Yeah, anybody but Faulkner. I mean, the guy came in with double-digit ERA and looked outstanding to Dylan Faulkner.
Two-run double for Shelnut back in the 4th. This one's lifted toward Gale in center. 2 gone.
And it's that sinker that's got action that's boring in on the righties. It looks like it's right over the plate, so you're going to offer at it, and then at the last second, it really moves into your hand. So that's been an effective pitch for Mr. Valle tonight.
Yeah, he's gotten Heyman and Shelnut both right on the handle there.
And out of the hand, it looks like it's going to split the plate. So you're going to offer at it and got great movement at the end.
So here's Landon Russell as the throw is sent over to Ty Evans' way. 0 for 3 tonight. Got robbed back in the 2nd. Sinking line drive was stabbed by Hentz, the Ocala native, at short. And Russell's going to fly out here to end the 7th. So the Gators have been held hitless both sides.
They've been tough, and runs are becoming very important. And if Jacksonville gets a guy on early, look for them to possibly play small ball. They have 9 sacrifice bunts on the year.
Alex Philpott is working on the mound for the Gators, and 8-9-1 here, starting with the catcher Connor Spellman on the Jacksonville side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's double barrel action in the Gators bullpen currently. Philpott is the 6th pitcher of the night for the Gators. And another strikeout for the Gators bullpen. I mean, since there were 2 outs in the top of the 4th, the scorebook here, Nick Belmonte, is littered with Ks.
And this is the 10th strikeout since the 4th inning.
So now Cade Hentz, who's proven to be one of the toughest outs on either side tonight.
Yeah.
The Trinity Catholic product out of Ocala has himself a 3-hit night plus a walk out of the 9-hole.
Wow.
Welcome home, I guess. How about that?
It's like Cabernet on a white carpet. Hard to get out.
Look, there are the Celtics, the Trinity Catholic baseball team, I think, got to be here tonight.
Yeah.
Seeing their old teammate have a game.
They're going, man, this college baseball is easy.
Yeah. Top of the order now for Jacksonville. That means Will Gale. He was the subject of a review in the 6th inning. Laid down a really good sacrifice bunt. It was a bang-bang play, initially called safe at first. And after review was out by literally a footfall. Not a step, not a half a step. His foot was hovering the bag when the ball got into the mitt of Caglione. Evans, no problem. 2 gone.
That's a big out right there. Because Gale, the accomplished hitter, and we've seen him do damage as a member of Seton Hall, getting him out, that's huge.
And for Philpott here to now get into 2, 3, 4 area in this lineup, I'd certainly like to see Nato and Steidel in the 9th to start the inning. But you're right about the importance of that out, getting that pitch for Gale to pop it up into right field. Because Edmonds has reached 4 times tonight up there on the left side. Been hit by a pitch twice, singled in the 1st and the 3rd, and scored on each occasion. Philpott kicks and delivers. That's going to be out of play. And the first guy didn't make a play. The second guy did, because he's got a jersey on. I mean, it's like taking your ball glove to the ballpark.
Yes.
If you're going to wear a jersey or bring the ball glove, best be ready to make a play, or else we will heckle you. 1-2. Plenty of room out there for Jalen Guy to work. And Alex Philpott surrendered the single, but to swing for the previous right-handed DH, Brody Donay. So Albert out with a .286 average. He takes ball one inside.
And get on base any way you can. If they come in too close to you, just take one off that elbow pad.
Chris Hayes is going to get a left-hander up and throwing in the Jacksonville bullpen as that one softly gets in there for strike one. Jack Carver is now warming for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Carver to lefty, and they got, Williams the righty, probably still lurking out there.
Albert takes a strike on the outer half.
Yeah, there's Carver. He gives you that three-quarter sidearm look. Perhaps getting him ready to face a Caglione or Shelton. Because Valle looks good.
Misses here against Albert. Valle came in the 7th inning. And the only blemish in that frame was he hit Ty Evans with a pitch. Otherwise, 3 pop-ups, 2 of them off the handle of bats. That one is hit out into the left center field gap, tailing toward Edmonds, the left fielder, and he makes the play for 1 out. So Jalen Guy was scheduled to bat in the 9 hole, and there'll be a pinch hitter for him as well. So here was all that action in the early portion of this ball game. And since it's 3 for 29, the two teams combined. Hayden Yost will pinch hit for Guy. And the freshman batting 143. Off speed and strike one. Jalen Guy reached twice when he was in the ball game, hit by a pitch, stole a base, walked, stranded 2 times. Though the Gators have left 9 on base. As Yost hits this in about the same spot that Albert did. And again, Edmonds sees it into the glove. 2 gone now in the Gators' 8th.
And this is working out perfectly for Chris Hayes and pitching coach Justin Pope, because he's getting down to that area where they perhaps want to throw Carver against the big lefties. Like Kaggs is on deck, followed by Shelton. And I think, if he gets on here, Curlin, you go to Carver.
Curlin has reached 3 times tonight. Ground ball, tough play here for Hentz. Oh, and he made it look easy. 1, 2, 3 go the Gators in the 8th innings. Scheduled to hit. Alex Philpott remains in on the mound for the Gators and starts Nadeau, who's 1 for 3 tonight with a strike.
We haven't seen a whole lot of 1-run games midweek. Through the years we haven't, especially this year. And that's why it's so important to throw a 0 up here if you're the Gators when you got Caglione leading off down 1. The last thing you want to do is have a Kaggs up there down 2.
Right.
A guy that can leave the ballpark at any time. So this is a big opportunity for Philpott.
Lifted into right. Evans slowed up and took it on a bounce. Leadoff single for Justin Nadeau.
But they're playing Nadeau deep because of his ability, and then when you hit it off the hands like that, it gives the illusion that it's hit better than it was. And it's just one of those tough reads from an outfielder. I mean, being a former outfielder, this looks like, okay, the fans are like, he should have laid out for it, but it's a tough read off the bat.
Yeah,
it really is. It really is.
And Nick, and you know this as an outfielder yourself, if he goes after it
misses
and it doesn't go well, now that man is in scoring position.
Absolutely.
Now, I think that if I asked Ty Evans, would you like another run at that thing, I think he may rethink it a little bit just based on his reaction, but it's hard to argue if that's not the smart play what he did right there.
When you're an outfielder, you're caught in between on stuff like that, so it looks to the fans, he should have dove for it. But again, when you get a late break because the guy eats you up on an inside pitch, it looks like it's going to go further than it does.
Yeah.
And then when you make the adjustment, darn it. It is a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, and then it falls in. And like you said, you got to make that decision. Do I lay out? Well, no, you really don't want to lay out with nobody out.
And there's no help behind him. It's not like it's toward the gap and you've got
Yeah.
a center fielder backing you up, there's nothing to stop it from going to the right field fence. By the way, speaking of center field defensive replacement, it's Hayden Yost to pinch hit in the bottom half of the last inning. He stays in for Guy in center field as Philpott with a big move to first base on that offering. In the meantime, you've got to guard against that runner who has 7 stolen bases, and Steidl, a very good hitter at the plate.
And I'll tell you another thing that confuses umpires at this level. Aluminum bats. Because in a wood bat, it has a different sound if it eats you up inside, where in an aluminum bat, it's the same sound.
Yeah.
So you're always going to think it's, if you think off the bat, it sounded like it was hit well, that aluminum bat is going to mask it.
Middle infielders at double play depth. Shelton at short, Curlin at second. Philpott again throws some gas over to first. No one's caught Nadeau yet. He is 7 for 7 in the stolen base department this season. 2-2. Inside out swing and out of play here on Steidl.
And I think if it goes 3-2, Chris Hayes with the 1-run lead, why not start your runner?
Gators bullpen has been cruising. And that's a big swing and a miss right there. Wow. That's the 3rd time Steidl's gone down on strikes after having that monster weekend against Stetson, and this is a dandy pitch.
Yeah, this is a nice changeup. He executed. Sully made a great call calling that pitch because it utterly fooled him. Of course, he had to come through and make the good pitch.
So 1 down, and now Aiden Masters at the plate. 1 for 4 tonight. He has struck out twice. And the Gators are 1 strikeout away from tying their season high as a staff, which is 17. Against Columbia, if memory serves me. Pitch out. Nothing doing.
Yeah, Masters is a guy that he's in the 3-hole, or actually the 4-hole tonight, but he did not play in the fall. He had an injury, a shoulder injury, and he was late getting on the field in the spring when they came back from the holidays.
Base hit up the middle. The lead runner, Nadeau, will stay at second base. And Masters with his second base hit of the night.
Yeah, and whatever you can do to close out this inning and not get tack-on runs, because right now, Jacksonville a base hit away from doing just that.
And you hold here, keep it a 1-run game. Kind of Nick alluded to this, when we set up the 9th inning. You've got Caglione, Shelton, and Heyman coming up in the bottom half of the 9th inning. And time call now is Kevin O'Sullivan will come out and make a pitching change here in the top of the 9th inning.
Are their orders still up? Gators had only 6 hits tonight offensively, so you want to keep them right where you're at if you're Menendez.
So 2 on. Nadeau with the leadoff single here in the 9th is at second base. Aiden Masters with a base hit at first. Abby Delgado, a left-handed bat, takes strike 1 from Menendez. These 2 teams split last year. A road team winning in each occasion. Took something off of that.
Yeah, nice pitch. You may want to come right back to that. And that's the thing. Chris Hayes says Delgado, he could drive the ball to all fields, but sometimes he expands the zone, and you want to exploit that right here.
0-2. Dug out by Heyman. So prior to when you saw Menendez over the weekend against Texas A&M, he had not thrown more than 9 pitches in any appearance. 20 pitches against the Aggies this past weekend. He's never gone more than a third of an inning. 1-2. Right through the left side. They're going to hold the runner at third as Russell got it in quickly. He charged on that ground ball that went through the 6th hole there.
It wasn't a great throw in, And it's one of those where you, as a third base coach, you have to make the decision. He got it so shallow, did Russell. He had to make that decision with less than 2 outs where a fly ball he could tag up and score. So that's all in the computer of a third base coach.
Has to be a fast computer, doesn't it?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'd coached third base in Salt Lake City for my tenure there for 3 years, and I loved it. I mean, it's an art form to it all in itself. Of course, I just sent everybody.
Roll the dice, did you? Here's Jaden Bastian. He is the pinch hitter in the DH's spot. First pitch swinging. Bastian's a 107 hitter. Freshman out of Winter Garden, Florida, and this is the 7th spot in their lineup. He replaces the left-handed hitting Chandler Howard. Bases loaded for the Dolphins in a 1-run game. Float one in there for strike 2.
And this is a guy, Bastian, they're really looking for him to be the center fielder of the future. They really like his tools.
Creeping into the corners defensively are the Gators. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes the pinch hitter Bastian. Pair of strikeouts in the inning. First for Menendez.
And he goes changeup right here, and he's going to offer at it. And that's the inexperience, expanding the zone.
So that ties a season high for the Gators. It's the 3rd time the pitching staff has recorded 17 strikeouts. They did it to Columbia twice. And a bender on the inside corner, strike 1 to the catcher Connor Spellman, who has struck out 4 times tonight. Bases loaded, infield backs up now with the 2 outs. Blew it by him. 95 miles an hour. Now yeah. Menendez is strike away.
Yeah, we talk about his electric stuff, and you're seeing it right here. This is a big opportunity for him.
Shot through, and 2 runs could score. Evans throws to the plate, and wide, and so
big tack-on runs.
And the shortstop Cade Hentz has proven to be real tough to get out tonight, as in hasn't happened.
Yeah, and what really hurts here is, you know, Caglione and Shelton, you know, back-to-back home runs. You're still down a run if that happens next inning.
Base hit left side. And Russell in left field. That was fielded not too far off the cut of the grass. The bases are loaded for the Dolphins. They keep the lead runner Delgado from turning past third.
I expected nothing less a week ago, but a big opportunity here to keep this at a 3-run deficit.
Bases loaded, and a strike on the outside corner here with 2 outs. 2 runs already in here to the 9th. It was a 1-run game, now 7-4. And Will Gale at the top of the lineup is the 8th man to bat in the 9th inning. And generous call there from the home plate umpire, Vic Carrell.
You got to be careful with Gale, too. I mean, veteran guy. Got to make a pitch here. See if they go slider away and see if they get him to chase it.
Dolphin on every bag. 0-2. Outside. That's where Heyman wanted it. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You'll try to catch a corner with a running fastball right there.
Dolphins trying to score a win against number 6 Florida, get their first road win of the year. Swing and a miss. Purnell comes in, does the job.
He can't hit a grand slam here. He just needs to get on base and get this thing started.
Cags comes to the plate with a 2-run homer back in the 3rd inning. Otherwise, without a hit. And they'll shift to the right side defensively for Jack Caglione. The Gators down 3, in danger of now having a losing record in midweek games. 3-3 in midweek games coming into tonight. First pitch to Caglione. Off speed and in there for a strike. 86 on the gun. Carver's not going to blow anybody away with a fastball here.
Yeah, and it's not his job to nibble here either with the 3-run lead.
That one is blasted. This drive is unplayable. Home run, Jack Caglione. Second tonight, 9th on the year. Career home run number 49 for Caglione. And that makes it 7-5.
See the distance, 404, 109, which is actually pedestrian for him. But that shows you how strong he is. Amazing. And that's how important those tack-on runs were for Jacksonville to start the inning. He throws him a slider and keeps his head, his shoulder, everything down on it.
Now Shelton with home run power. Takes inside for ball 1. And Isaac Williams is up and throwing in the Dolphins bullpen. That's the young man you referred to earlier, Nick.
Yeah, he can get it up there. He's going to be a guy throwing gas.
Down the heart. 1 ball, 1 strike to Shelton, who is looking for his first hit tonight. And there is Isaac Williams.
Yeah, he can run it up there. And, you know, Shelton gets on and potential tie run comes to the plate. See, that's what I love about Colby right there. This is how he's on left. He doesn't flinch. A lot of times you see the pitcher throw that breaking ball behind you. You see hitters back out, the lefties. He doesn't do that.
Hit by a pitch earlier tonight. That's how he has his on-base streak up to 20 games. And there were a lot of grumbling and free advice coming out of the grandstands here at Condren Ballpark. 2-2. From Carver. Tried to nibble. Thought he had it.
This Jacksonville program, I mean, their storied program. Austin Hayes, all-star from the Orioles. He's from Jacksonville. Of course, Daniel Murphy, a longtime all-star, is from JU.
Payoff pitch. Base runner. Tying run's going to come to the plate for the Gators here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, that's how you want to start it. Put the pressure on, and now let's see what Chris Hayes decides to do. Justin Pope.
Yeah, as you say that, he was walking up the steps of the third base dugout. And with a right-handed hitter coming up, and more importantly, the tying run potentially at the plate.
And he's going to say, well, that didn't work, left on left.
Level of anxiety is probably equal. Jacksonville and Chris Hayes trying to protect the lead, and Kevin O'Sullivan here looking for Luke Heyman. And not maybe do it all in one swing here with nobody out, but keep pushing here as they were down 3, now 2. And the first is in there at 95 for strike 1 to Luke Heyman. Heyman's 1 for 4 tonight.
Yep, the potential tie run has home run power.
6 of them on the year. Safe lead at first.
Good slider at 86.
So start him at 95, then string him at 86.
He has not given up in the 7 innings of home run this season.
So he's due.
That's one way of looking at it, right?
0-2. Did he go? No, says the first base umpire, Damian Beal.
Ooh, that was borderline. Yeah, it's one of those where as you're a hitter, oh, don't bring me up. Because he could have, because that's one of those tweeners.
Williams set at the belt. The 1-2. That's a really good eye or a gutsy take. You decide for yourself. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, a lot of off speed.
Tying run at the plate. Look out over there.
Now think about that pitch. 95 from that arm slot with run in on your hands. That's a tough pitch. And Luke Heyman did a great job just fighting that pitch off.
But back to the thought about the freshmen that we've seen tonight. 5 freshmen have thrown for the Florida Gators. This young man here, and all of them throw really hard. There's a tough play and a diving play by Masters, and got the lead runner. Boy, oh boy.
Boy, that could end up being a game saver
Yeah.
right there. Masters lays out, gets up and throws a strike.
Shelton said, I better hurry here.
Yeah, it's a heck of a play. They're going to look at it, but the call on the field is out at second.
So Heyman now is the base runner at first. Luke does not have great speed. He went around, strike one.
And if you're thinking, well, why aren't you pinch running here? He's not the potential tie run.
Correct.
And you probably don't want to have to. Donet's out of the game, and you really don't want to use Garrison tonight if you don't have to. So those would be the reasons why Heyman's still out there.
Ty Evans has reached every time tonight. Pair of singles, walk and hit by pitch. Chopper to the shortstop. The Ocala native on a hop gets Ty Evans. Two gone. Two sparkling plays on the left side of the infield here for Jacksonville.
Well, Chris Hayes is raving about Hentz in what he does defensively. It's a tricky play because he has to get it on the run. He has to wait for his first baseman to come over.
Hey.
And then first baseman bails him out, too.
So now it's up to Tyler Shelnut. The massive weekend against A&M.
I mean, think about it. If Seidel doesn't pull that ball out of the dirt, you got first and second with the potential winning run at the plate.
Yes.
But here's a guy that could tie it up.
1 for 4 tonight. 2-run double back in the third inning. That's the last time the Gators had a run until Caglianone's home run here in the ninth. Gators 3-3 in midweek games. We'll see Jacksonville back here on April the 18th. The pitch. Base hit through the left side. They'll hold Heyman Heyman at third. And the Gators are still alive here with Shelnut single to left.
And now you may see some moves here, maybe a pinch runner at first. We'll see how they decide to play because you have the potential tie run at first and the potential winning run stepping to the plate.
And you're looking at Landon Russell walk to the plate, still searching for his first hit as a Florida Gator.
Well, wouldn't this be a
hit to remember?
Swing?
Yes. Landon Russell 0 for 4 tonight. In on the right side, the junior college transfer with runners at the corners and down 2. Swing and a base hit to the left. Landon Russell has his first hit as a Gator. It's an RBI, and it's a 1-run game. And the tying run is aboard at second base in Shelnut. First pitch swinging for Russell against Isaac Williams.
And why not? He sees fastball, 2-seamer. I like the way he brings his hands back in and barrels it up.
Absolutely be fired up.
So keep it going. Love the puka shells.
Josh Rivera, who you saw down at Mesa, was the first one to bring the beads to this team. And Ty Evans has carried it on, and Landon Russell's jumped in on it.
Yeah, Justin Pope, one of the better pitchers ever to pitch in the state of Florida at UCF. Played for Jay Bergman, my old coach, who coached me at Florida.
It's his first year here with Chris Hayes, right?
Yes, it is. That was a good get. Came over from the pro side, minor league coaching.
Miami organization, correct?
I believe so,
yes.
Yes.
Okay, now the moment here. Armando Albert, who pinch hit for Donay in the 8th. 2 outs. First pitch from Williams in there for a strike. Tying run at second. Winning run at first.
Chris Hayes was reminded his infielders to knock anything down, keep it in the infield.
Rolling away to Albert. 2 runs batted in on the year for the first-year Gator, Armando Albert. The pitch. Swing and a miss.
Now let's see what he tries to do. Remember, he's got 90, 96, 97 in the tank. Let's see if he just tries to challenge him fastball to get him to expand the zone. That's what I'm guessing he's going to do here.
The 1-2 to Albert. Strike 3 called. That's the ball game. And the Jacksonville Dolphins